Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, Roberters.
Roberta.
I don't know if you guys can hear Mr. Bert, but hey, I am here. I am still a little under the weather, so bear with me, but I'm feeling much better, thank God. But I do still feel cruddy. But I did not want to put this off another day because I sat there and I thought about it. I can't relax. It's just really hard to relax. So we're doing a members only chat tonight as we go over the interview of Cindy Watts. So let me come over and say hi to you guys while we wait for Potato to join us. Hello, Mike Sana. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Northern Beans, Muffin Top, Susan Gee. Who else do we have here? Angie B. Roberta. She's an honorary Roberta today. I just felt like saying that. Can you guys hear me in both of your ears? Let's make sure you can hear me in both your ears. Girl Mama. Hello, babe. Tiffany Lee. Cheeky Monkey. Hello. And Olive Juice. You guys are lovely. Lovely to see you guys all here. Welcome back. Welcome back. It feels like forever, but it really hasn't been that long. I'm so glad you became a member too, Cheeky. Thank you so much. Krugs is in the house and Carrie. Carrie, how do you make chai tea? How do you make chai tea? I've seen that. I've never had it, but it looks really good. It's like tea with like cream in it, I guess. Krugs has an 8-month Roberta. She should be the honorary Roberta tonight.
Ashley, nobody said yikes, he hasn't come home, Ashley.
Oh, Lord, we've got UPS here. You might hear some doggies going crazy. Wait. Tastes like Christmas. Really? It's like spicy or what? I told you, you're going to hear her bark. We love the UPS guy around here. I love oat milk. Oh, no. Northern Light. She said, when I changed my name to include beans, someone tried to steal my Northern Lights. I was like, oh, no, you don't. Stand down. Stand down on that one. No taking our beans as names. Oh, it's kind of spicy. We have a lot of places around here that serve chai tea, and I never knew what it was. Your sister's name's Ashley.
Ashley, nobody said.
Do you ever say that to her?
Come home, Ashley.
Welcome, Incognito.
Hello.
Welcome, Incognito. I can't hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
I can't tell the Incognito potato.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me now?
Hello. I can hear you.
Hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah or no? Can you hear me?
Thank you, Cheeky. Thank you for being here.
They can hear me.
I just got to make it where I can. My guest here. Potato, can you talk now?
Hello. Ooh, I can hear myself.
Still can't. Hold on. I can hear you now.
Hello. Yay, I can't hear myself now.
Hi, Potatoes. Welcome.
Hello.
So sorry for that little snafu.
That's okay.
I know
Everyone else could hear me.
Well, lucky them, because of course I couldn't, but now I can, and I hope they still can as well. So
Fingers crossed.
excuse me if I cough a little bit tonight. I'm going to try not to cough in your ear, but I'm a little congested and I'm still a little under the weather. Yeah, I think you can tell, like, my eyes, like my face is just like, I don't know. I feel just weird.
Blah.
Yeah, you know that feeling? Like, I used to think it was like medicine head, but like I think it's when you're sick, you're just like, ooh, like out of it. So I'm here. Oh, alley cat claws. Northern Bean says cough, cough, pass.
Less of the pass.
That's what the doctor ordered. Beans. So Krug's wife, Samantha Krug's, her sister's name is Ashley. So that's her sister's.
Ashley, nobody said yikes, he hasn't come home, Ashley.
She said she thinks of that all the time, her sister. Okay, so Potatoes, are you ready to get into this video?
I am so ready. I'm excited.
I know we've been wanting to do this for a while now. And then I had to go and get sick and everything, but now we're here. We're doing Sunday Night Live on Monday night, which it's all good. I just want to make sure you can hear before we proceed. So let me just test the audio. Ready?
I wake up every morning just.
Could you hear?
Yeah, but it's like doubled up.
Oh, you have an echo. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So let me fix that, don't you know? Let's see.
I wake up every morning just crying.
You still have an echo?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Still the same.
Day?
You still have an echo?
It's just so hard to get through it.
Hello?
You can't hear me now.
I just don't know how.
No, I couldn't. Did you have an echo or no?
Yeah, it's still the same. They have an echo as well.
Everybody has an echo?
Oh
my God. Why?
Don't you know?
I know. Don't you know? But you don't have an echo when I'm talking, just when I play my video?
Yeah, just on the video.
Okay. Let's try this.
What?
No, still the same.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports?
No, that's okay.
Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
He played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
17.
Okay, right now it's fine?
He was in basketball, he was in baseball, he's in football.
Okay, because I'm sweating bullets at the moment.
It's all good now.
Okay. Golly gee. All right, thank you guys. No echo, we're good to go. Okay, so before we start playing this, I want to, I'm actually going to turn my camera off because, yeah. Oops. That was the wrong tab. I'm going to turn my camera off for the viewing time. But I want to go into this and preface this by saying I would like everybody here to look at this video like you're looking at it with a fresh set of eyes. Like, try to look at it objectively from a mom's standpoint. And if you're not a mom, if you're a dad, look at it from a parent standpoint, period. Because I think that's what everyone failed to do in the very beginning, because everything was so raw in our face, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't look at her as a parent. I was kind of like, why is she doing this?
Yeah, I was too. And, I regretfully had a knee-jerk reaction. And, we grow and we learn, and this is 4 years ago. But I immediately went for the jugular on this woman. And I didn't know her more than I knew who Shanann or Chris or any of them were. And I think we all got very personal. We took this case, the ones that followed it from the beginning, really took this case personally on
Yeah,
one side or
true.
the other. And it was like completely divided. You were either black or white. You know, it was like no in between.
Yep.
And if you so much as teetered in between, you were bashing a victim. It was very, very, the line was drawn very definitively. And I've never seen that before following a case. I've seen, you know, people, you know, have their opinions and such, but this went beyond opinions. This went to where I think we had literal women who saw themselves as the victim, who saw themselves in her.
Well, this case was so different because we saw so much of Shanann. So everyone thought they knew her and knew the whole situation. But no matter what you see on social media, you don't really know the whole situation. So I think that's important to remember when you're watching stuff.
Yeah, I think that was a big lesson for all of us because this was kind of, excuse me, the first case that was like all over social media. We felt like we got to know Shanann and the family through those videos, but now we find out that those videos were staged. They weren't the real life that was going on behind closed doors.
They were like business, basically. They have to make it look like they had like the perfect life and stuff to sell product. So it wasn't real.
Yeah, and it had all of the dynamics, like the MLMs. So you had the women who did the MLMs who related with that life and portraying that life because they all do it. They all strive to be successful at these MLMs. And, you know, it's really sad that I've kind of taken a step back and looked at is that I've always thought these MLMs were evil just because, you know, they put families in financial turmoil and not very many people actually make money at them, you know, just because it's a scam.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking these MLMs really are evil because they expect people to use their kids as selling points, as props. And it's really sad. It's really sad because I've never seen a business quite like that where, you know, you invest all this money, you know, to join, and then you have to infringe upon your friends and family to try to, you know, get it off the ground. Not only that, are you infringing on all your friends and family? Like Chris's coworkers blocked him on Facebook, literally blocked him because there were so many posts. And now we found out he never posted any of that shit.
Yep.
None of it.
Yep. It is sad because they pull everyone in and then you're kind of trapped because you have to stay in that situation to make sales. So that there's so much pressure just to keep on going, doing the same thing over and over again, and it destroys their life. It's
it does.
sad.
It destroys families, and you know, it interests me when I think about the fact that the investigators in this case interviewed all of the Thrive friends who all lived this facade of a business, right? So what bird's eye view were investigators even getting when they weren't branching out and talking to the Watts or family of the Watts or friends of the Watts or anything like that? Like, Chris was just there. Wouldn't you want to know if Chris confided in you about an affair?
Yep.
Wouldn't they want to know these things?
People that really knew them and had actually spent time with them as family and not as promoters of Thrive.
Right. Like the guy from Dirty South Customs that she worked for. We see nothing of Hisham Bedwan, but we see this Christina in Hawaii and Addie in Massachusetts and so-and-so in Arizona and so-and-so here and there and all these people coming out of the woodwork on Facebook. And that's where that's where the investigators got their info. It's mind-blowing to me.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. And, you know, I'm going to say in Cindy Watt's defense, when Shanann started selling Thrive, they signed up. They supported her.
Because you would, because you want to support your family in their new career.
Right. Now, if she despised her,
She wouldn't
wouldn't
do
she have been, she wouldn't have had anything to do with spending hundreds of dollars to support
that. No, because it's
her venture.
expensive.
Very.
You got to put a lot of money in. And if they didn't care, they wouldn't have done it. They'd have been like, no, look.
They supported her venture. They had no idea that there were any money problems. So that's another thing we need to preface this with. They had no clue that there was any financial woes at all. They never knew there was a bankruptcy. None of that was shared with them. So it's like you have this mother sitting there. What just happened? They won't let me talk to my kid. We already went over that in the last episode. No communication. Shut down if they talked about the case. And now you have this mother who's desperate. That's how I call it.
Yeah.
Complete desperation for answers and to get a message to her son that if what you said in that room with your father is true, I want you to fight this. Why are you laying back on, like a dog on its back, like surrendering? Why are you doing this? I can understand that frustration.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting is that Shanann's parents had no idea that they had talked about separation, had no idea there was marital woes, had no idea she suspected an affair. None of that. None of it. Just makes you really look at the dynamics and, yeah, I think they got an idea, Grow Mama, kind of how bad it was with those, in North Carolina, that last couple weeks or the week when Chris was there. I think it got bad.
Yeah, because everything was so different.
Okay, so let's start our interview here. And I'm gonna say here too that she did not set this up. Kim Kaufman set this up for her to talk to this guy from ABC. And when I spoke to Cindy about this, she said that when they got there, they were knocking on the door. She was scared. She didn't want to answer it. She actually hid in her closet.
That's
because
so
she did
sad.
not. Yeah, she was scared. But
You
she
have to
came
think
out
about
and
that as well.
Mhm.
That she didn't really want to do it, and she kind of felt like she had to.
Yeah, and she said, "I just told truth."
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and start it, and then we'll talk our way through it.
I wake up every morning just crying, thinking this is not going to be what's going to happen every single day. It's just so hard to get through it. I just don't know how to get through it.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports? Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
Yes,
did
he
do?
played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old up until he was 17. And he was in basketball, he was in baseball, he was in football, and loved NASCAR. He and his dad went to the NASCAR races all the time. Loved sports. And he was a good kid. Had two best friends, and that's who he grew up with, and still are friends with them today. And there's nothing that would have predicted any of this could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, I can totally see where she's coming from. You're thinking about this every day. Where did this come from? What did I miss? Did I miss anything?
Or what did I do wrong as well? It's one of the questions I'd be asking myself.
Yeah.
Because even
For sure.
in smaller situations, you naturally do think what went wrong? What could I have done different? And I can remember when I first watched this interview, I was thinking her emotions are off and stuff. But now I'm just thinking she's shell shocked. Like she looks like
Yeah.
she's in shock.
Yeah, I want to look at the video or the date on this. It's actually, how come sometimes you can see the date and sometimes you can't on YouTube? Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I missing it?
Description.
I am. It doesn't say.
Weird.
But I believe this was in November. It was, but I don't want to say that out of turn because I'm not really entirely sure.
Let me see if I can find it.
All right, let me keep playing.
In his childhood at all. I would have never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him at all.
You didn't see things like him getting into fights? Or...
No fighting. He was quiet and he got along with people and he didn't start anything, and he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go to NASCAR Tech. We made that possible for him.
What did he do after he finished school?
He worked.
So a little thing about, hey Midge, a little thing about NASCAR Tech was that they sent him there. And believe it or not, they have one more year still paying on Chris's schooling. Can you imagine that?
To think they're still having to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was November.
Was it November?
Mm-hmm.
Northern Lights, as my mom always told me, it's the quiet people you need to watch out for.
Yep.
The quiet ones keep things bottled up. I think that's something really important to remember, that they don't express their feelings and they bottle it up. I don't know if this even happened in this case, because from what I've gathered, Chris is pretty content. He's pretty content and pretty adaptable. And as long as he's being told what to do and he has a routine, he's pretty, just
I really think he's disconnected from his emotions. I think there is something there where his emotions aren't right, because it's like an empathy thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like he's
I
not
agree with you
thinking about how anyone else is kind of dealing with it. He's just okay where he is.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's like he expects his family to be fine because he's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There's definitely, you're right. There's a total disconnect in his emotional his emotional feelings versus how he acts.
And it's not even just now. Like when he was talking about when he was with Nicole for those 6 weeks, he was saying he wasn't with his family, like he wasn't seeing them, so he wasn't thinking about it. That's something wrong with your emotional, I don't know, connection to people. Like if they're there, then you're connected, but if they're not there, then out of sight, out of mind kind of thing with his family.
Which is very childlike to me.
Yeah.
That's how kids are. They're kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Think about when you drop your kid off at school and they don't want you to leave. Like, well, I don't know, Mom. And then you leave and like 5 minutes later, they're fine.
And then when you come get them, they're sad again. Because like, you left me. But the time that they were there, they were fine.
They were fine. And that's how he is. Like, and he's fine in prison. And I think it's hard for his mother to comprehend that he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be fine?
Exactly.
Because she's like, we haven't been fine for 4 years. And you're fine. You're healthy. You're content. You're excited about things that are going on the inside. Like, he's just adapted to this new life. And it's crazy.
It is.
Like, he's excited when they had like a special dinner, like a fundraiser dinner, and they got to choose either chicken or ribs or something like that. And the dude called his dad to say, what should I choose? Chicken or ribs? I mean, this is what they have to listen to. And it's got to be frustrating as all hell.
Yep. It must be so hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah. I mean, and if you guys think that like they're satisfied with whatever he says, they're not.
They just
I
want to
mean,
know.
I can tell you that. Yes, I can tell you that this pacifying and everything's fine and I accepted responsibility, those aren't solid answers.
Mm-mm.
Like to say, this is my decision and I've accepted responsibility. That leaves more questions
Yes.
than
Just
it
be
does
straight.
answers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
They
like he
just need
doesn't
straight.
get it.
No.
How does he not get that? That is hurtful. I
'Cause
don't understand it.
he doesn't have those emotions, I don't think. Like, that's a lack of empathy. He's not thinking about how they're feeling in this situation. Like, he's okay. So as long as he's okay and he's accepted everything, everyone else has to and just carry on, live your lives. Like, he's living his life in prison. Everyone else just has to carry on, live their life outside. I don't think he
Yeah,
understands.
It's so weird. It makes you wonder why. What in the hell? Okay, let's keep going.
At the dealership as a service technician and was making good money and loved it. He bought a toolbox and he started buying his tools and enjoyed it. He was doing well.
When and where did he meet Shanann?
They met and he liked her, she liked him, but it didn't, I don't think that was love at first sight or anything. They took a little while and I guess got to know each other and, you know, dated. It was always a little strange that she always said a lot of things about Chris in front of me that I didn't like. Like, this isn't the kind of person I would date. He doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know how to do that. He looks like a skater boy. Look at his hair. Look how much stuff he puts on his hair. It was just on and on and on, and I just got a bad feeling.
If that was me, I'd be like, well, why are you with him then?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say too. I'd be wondering, like, what do you like about him?
Exactly. So tell me what it is that you like about him, seeing as there's all these other things that you don't like. Like, why are they the most important things to talk
I
about?
think people like Shanann, and I'm not saying anything bad because everybody has different personalities. And I think she had a very dominant personality. I think she liked things her way. And I think that it was very easy with someone like Chris to conform to someone else's way. So I think that someone like Chris is perfect. You know, when someone like Shanann, who has a dominant personality, who knows what she wants, not really sure how to get it, but she knows what she wants. And he's very, you know, agreeable.
Adaptable.
He was supportive.
And can change into what she wanted him to be, I guess.
And, you know, when I first watched this, I did see some disgust when she was like, it wasn't love at first sight or anything, but, you know, she's being truthful. That's how she saw things. That's how she saw things. And I think it's also important to remember that Shanann would confide in Cindy when she had her dealings with her mom. You know, there was kind of like this triangular thing, you know?
Yeah.
There'd be a riff with this side or a riff with that side, and either side would hear about it. And it was just the pattern.
And they got married in 2012. Did they get married in North Carolina?
They did.
How was that?
We didn't attend.
Really?
We didn't attend because Shanann and I just couldn't get along. And I didn't like the way she treated him.
What do you know about?
Well, that's a pretty bold move for parents. I want to talk about this.
Yes.
That would be a very, very tough decision to make. And I don't think they took it lightly, being how close Ronnie and Chris were. Like, that had to kill Ronnie not to be there that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say that other family members went and called them after, hey, Maligator, and called them after and said they weren't spoken to, they weren't acknowledged. They very much felt like outsiders. So I'm not saying that I necessarily agree or disagree with their choice. I didn't live their life. I wasn't in their shoes. I didn't go through what they went through, you know, with their son and his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been a very tough thing for me to do.
Like, I thought of it like, because they didn't go to the birthday party and things as well. And maybe it was just because they didn't want to be the cause of like negative feeling on those special days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. Because if they had went and then it ruined her special day because Cindy was there or blah, blah, blah. You know, I just, that must have been a rough decision to make.
But then again,
Chris must have felt deserted.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. Like, that was his wedding day. He'd want his parents to be there and they weren't.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really bold statement. I mean, that's like a statement saying, we do not approve of this marriage.
Yeah, so we're not going to be there.
And I mean, who knows, you know, how it would have went. Hey, Heather J.
Hey,
you know,
Heather.
who knows what would have happened had they went or didn't go. But, you know, the things went down, like you said, with the birthday party, with Cece's party.
Mm-hmm.
What is CEO saying? Tell Jay I can't speak to her under advice from counsel since she abandoned us Thursday. I was forced to sue. How did I abandon you Thursday? I don't even remember last Thursday. I felt like some shit.
That was so long ago.
It feels like an eternity ago.
It really does.
Like 50 videos later, 50 shorts later.
Yes.
We've missed you, Heather J. We hope you're doing good. We miss you up here.
I miss you too.
So yeah, that had to be quite the statement made.
Yep.
Not to attend. But let's talk about the engagement for a second. The engagement was done in Myrtle Beach, and all the family, like Shanann, got these blocks of rooms. So they were all together. And they went there, and it was a surprise. They didn't know that they were getting engaged. Potato, they didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know this before until recently.
Like, Shanann knew that she was getting proposed to. Chris knew, obviously. But the family did not know. So they all go to Myrtle Beach, and it's like, surprise, Chris gets on one knee. Kind of a different kind of engagement surprise.
Well, it's different that she knew that she was going to be proposed to. And I guess maybe planned the whole thing.
Planned the whole thing. Yes. How it was going to go down. She had to have, she couldn't just give it to Chris, right? And say,
I would hate that.
At least, you know, surprise me. So I don't know when you're doing it or something. I don't know. But none of the family knew why they were going there, and they found out when they got there. So I don't know what the dynamics were like with Cindy and her, like, prior to the engagement. And then, like, I don't know what the reaction would have been at the engagement. If that was like a surprise, like on purpose.
Yeah.
Like if someone knew they might not be happy about it, let's put them on the spot. I don't know.
Everyone else had a surprise except for Shanann.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Everything they did was just like she very much had to have control of everything.
Controlled, yeah. Your own engagement. It's kind of sad to live like that, though. to feel the need to control everything to the point
It
where you
is.
can't even have an engagement surprise without controlling every
Yeah,
bit
I
of
kind
it.
of have a problem with control sometimes. Not to that extreme,
Mhm.
but just like in my role, like as a wife, not controlling, like, oh, what are you doing type thing. But like in my first marriage that lasted 15 years, I always took care of the bills. I
Mhm.
paid, I handled all that stuff. So like I always kind of carried that role.
Yeah.
And, my husband didn't know he didn't care. He was like, okay, cool. Here,
As long as it's
you pay all the
handled.
bills. Yeah, as long as it's handled. And it sounds like that was the same type of thing. And I get
Mhm.
it. I get it. These guys are working and she's at home and she feels like she's better at managing money because he went to sell a four-wheeler one time and she said he was a doofus.
Mhm.
All that stuff. But I do want to go over to chat really quick because they're talking about them not going and the birthday party.
I'm sure she does regret not going now. I mean, she had no idea that that would be the last time.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, like hindsight, as far as them not being around. But I think at the
Yeah.
time, they were thinking more like, we don't want a scene. We don't want to upset anyone because I saw someone say earlier, she was from a very opinionated, loud Italian family. So you have this quiet, reserved family. You have Chris, who's reserved, would never say anything. If he didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like if they said anything out of turn to his family, he was not going to speak up.
Yep.
So you're kind of thrown into this and you're thinking, I don't want a scene. That's the last thing I want for my granddaughter. Or that's the last thing I want for my son's wedding memory. Or that's the last thing I want at this funeral. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know the banking password. That's right, Muffin Top. He didn't. But, luckily I paid the bills when I was supposed to. But I mean, very easily could that happen. But after the first bankruptcy, I would have been like putting the crack in the whip.
Yeah, like what is going on?
Don't want to go through that again,
Nope.
Okay, so let's get back to they were talking about the wedding.
About their marriage and their issues.
Oh, very little. Very little. You can only observe. I could only observe what I saw when.
See, that's all she had to go off of was what she observed.
Yep.
Because Chris didn't talk to her about anything. Chris didn't talk to anybody about anything, like feelings wise. There's another red flag, weird emotional disconnect. Keeping everything to yourself. How? How do you keep all that to yourself? I mean, it sounds like he confided in NK and told NK, though, about all the woes with his wife.
Yeah. I bet he did go into depth, though.
Well, she seemed to know quite a bit. In her interview, though, she said something about what had led their marriage to where it was or something like that. She alluded to the fact that she knew about money and, all the issues that he had with her.
I guess it's easier to open up to someone like that, though, than your own family.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to disappoint them and stuff or have them worry about the situation.
True. And I guess, looking at it from a guy's standpoint. He doesn't have a romantic bone in his body. I don't know if I could see him being a romancer. It's kind of awkward. That's kind of an awkward thought, to be honest.
I was around them. Christopher always seemed anxious, and he when she needed something, he would run. He wouldn't walk, he would run, he would get it. He just always seemed to be right there at her beck and call.
And he was. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it in the videos.
Mm-hmm. And there was a situation where he was with friends or something, and he was really outgoing and joking and laughing and stuff. And Shannon was like, "Why aren't you ever like that with me?" And he said, "Well, maybe I'm just always like on edge." But why? Why
When
would
did he say that?
That was in an interview, I'm pretty sure. I know. I've listened to a lot of stuff.
Oh, wow. I didn't catch that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
She asked him why you're not like that with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cindy also said that when she went there to stay there while they went on a Thrive trip, that he was just always, she didn't get to talk to him like one-on-one when they would visit because he was always doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was either like, they doing clothes or getting, something for the kids. So I don't know. I mean, but then I think about like him going to that birthday party on this Sunday and how that Jeremy Lindstrom said he hung with the kids the whole time. Like he didn't hang out with the adults.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of get that though, because it's easy with kids. Like there's no expectations of anything. Like there's no social stuff you've got to conform to. You're just playing with the kids. With adults, it's so much different. Like it's difficult for someone, especially who's introverted, like Chris obviously was. That's a hard social situation.
And I guess if they ask about your wife and the upcoming baby, like you're kind of avoiding them. Mm-hmm. You're avoiding having to, answer those questions because you don't want to come across not excited and you don't want them to know that there's problems. So you're going to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Laura W., I think so too. She said, I will say the Christmas video where Chris dressed up like Santa was painful to watch.
Yeah, it was.
It really was.
It really was.
Did you know that Cindy never even knew that he dressed up like Santa?
Mm-hmm.
She never knew that until after they had all died and she saw those videos.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicole.
Well, all the pictures, like pictures
Hey,
of the kids with Santa and things, like they were scared every single time. There was even an Easter one. The kids were scared.
Mm-hmm.
So then to have that in your own home, that's kind of terrifying.
But Chris never spoke up.
Nope.
He
just did what he was told.
And it's so maddening in that Santa video. Like, you just want him to get up and go get that baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes on and on and on. It's like...
It's uncomfortable.
It is really awkward. And I had no idea that they did not see all those videos. It's so weird.
To see them afterwards as well must have been heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. I think had they seen those videos, they would have said something. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying like if they had seen those hundreds of videos, imagine her shock. This interview is after all of this stuff comes out too. And she's like, what was going on?
Yeah.
And did that seem odd to you? Or?
Very odd. It was very odd. He just seemed nervous.
So how much did you see them over these last 6 years?
Probably twice a year. We would go up there.
Did you stay with them? Or?
Yeah, we would stay with them and stay a week and then come back home.
Tell me about Bella and Celeste.
Oh, Bella was just like Chris, just like him, shy, cautious, conservative. Cece was a ball of fire. I mean, she was fearless, completely fearless.
One thing that doesn't falter from both the Ruseks and the Watts are the description of these girls. They both, a firecracker, ball of fire. I mean, the love for these girls from both sides doesn't falter. And they both knew them inside and out.
Yeah.
They really did. I mean, twice a year, she knows those girls. She knows their personalities. Mm-hmm. She loved those girls.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Midge wants to know if she ever watched any of her Facebook videos. She did not see them until after because she was blocked. They were blocked from seeing those. It was like, special, what do you call that? Like the privacy settings on Facebook?
Restricted.
Yeah, you can restrict from certain people even.
Yeah. Yeah, you can choose your audience.
Yeah, this reporter, he's a little bland. But he gets the job done.
He just loved to run. So they were wonderful. It breaks my heart to know that they're not here. They were beautiful children. Beautiful children.
What did they call you?
Mimi.
Mimi? And how about Ronnie? What did they call?
Papa.
Do you think Chris loves Shanann?
Oh God, he loved her. Yes, I believe he loved her at first. I believe he did. But I think as the years went on, I think it just being in that kind of a relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
Shanann's pregnancy and was what did Chris tell you about that? Was he excited?
No, I don't think he was. I think it was a shock to him. And he said that they have been talking about divorce.
So when she says it was a shock to him, we've heard before that, and I know it's like TMI, I really didn't want to know this about anybody's life, but that they had sex one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said that, didn't he? One time and it's done.
And that's why his reaction was, I guess when you want it, it happens.
Yeah.
So we know they had already talked about separating. Shanann already got a hold of the realtor. All of that had happened.
But then Shanann in messages said that he had convinced her to go for a third.
He convinced her, yeah. I don't know what to believe on that one. I
was interested to see what you would think about that.
I don't
know either.
I really don't. I'm stuck.
It doesn't fit with what was actually happening at the time.
Unless he was lying and going along with,
like, appeasing her.
Which,
like,
sometimes that's easier.
Like, if you really want it, then we can do it. We can get through and stuff. I mean, that's the kind of thing I can imagine would convince someone to go for it. If he was seeming like he was supportive and things, like just saying what she wanted to hear.
And I see him doing that. I don't know. I see him doing that. Being a total pacifier.
Really
No, because they couldn't afford the two they had.
And
he knew that. He couldn't do anymore. He had done, he was at the job he was at. He was not going to get a raise anytime soon. He was a supervisor in the field or whatever. So he was doing the best that he could. So, I mean, it's possible that they did. Okay, let's say they didn't talk separation and they were just talking sell the house and move to Broomfield or whatever they were talking about.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to do that because it was all that image for that Thrive. What do you tell these Thrive people when you're supposedly, growing and doing better, but you decide to downsize?
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
You're trapped in that home because you've got to keep up the pretense that everything is going good. And it's not.
Right. But when you're behind and you're going to lose the house to a foreclosure, something's got to give. So what would look worse, losing her marriage and her home or downsizing? I mean, it's all pretty stressful to someone in her position.
Yeah.
There was really no good answer. And I'm sure it was humiliating that Chris wasn't excited about this baby, didn't want it. I'm still confused on why the gender reveal was. I don't understand all of that. I don't understand who knew the gender and who didn't and why. Do you understand that whole mess?
Nope.
Because I've heard so many different things about it.
Who did know the gender?
I don't know. Did Chris?
I don't think he... Oh, well, I always thought he didn't know. But now thinking about it, I don't know if they both knew and it was just like the surprise engagement party. It was a surprise for everyone else, but not them. I don't know.
Yeah. There's
No,
no
she couldn't
telling.
have known though, because didn't she say she wanted to, like, whoever knew the gender of the baby, she said, like, can you tell me?
I think Nicole Atkinson, right?
Yeah, so she didn't know then because she was saying, like, she needs something positive. Like, you tell me what the gender is. I don't know when that happened, but am I remembering that right or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. I remember bits and pieces about the whole gender reveal. And then I remember the text messages from Cassie's husband to Chris, something about the gender, but she called the baby, Shanann did, in North Carolina, she called it baby Watts because she took a picture of like a onesie or something.
Mhm.
Baby Watts' first, whatever it was, some sports team. So she didn't say Nico. She said baby Watts.
Yeah, I kind of think she didn't know. I think they got the gender in like an envelope and gave it to Nicole, I'm guessing.
So another weird thing. If you spell out Nico Lee, it spells Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It is weird. But Shanann chose that name, didn't she? And it was
Yeah, because
Chris's
it
middle name.
was Italian. Yeah, and it was Chris's middle name and Ronnie's middle name. So that's his dad's middle name. But like when you spell it out, like Nico, Nico, and then Lee and chat, like if you look, it's literally Nicole.
Yeah, it is. It is creepy.
Creep town, dude.
There's a lot of weird things like that. Weird coincidences in this case. That's just one. But yeah, that kind of creeped me out. I noticed that the other day I was watching a video and somebody had it like, oh no, I know what it was. It was their tombstone. And it said Nico. And I was like, whoa.
But didn't Shanann spell it with a K originally? And then it was changed.
I don't know. It's Nico. I don't know how she was going to.
With a K.
I used to spell it with a K and I got corrected a lot. So I know now that it's Nico, but I was like, whoa, Nicole.
Yeah, weird.
Weird. Kelly, you thought that she actually knew who it was, like knew the actual person? Interesting.
That, they are not compatible anymore. And he was not happy anymore. And I finally thought, he's finally seen the light.
And I take it Chris had never been in trouble with the law?
Never. He's got one speeding ticket and didn't even know about that.
Tell me what happened when they...
Oh my God. He never even told his parents that he got a speeding ticket. I can't. I can't imagine their shock at this. I just can't.
They were reported missing. What did you find out? How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ronnie called me. Ronnie called me and said that they're missing, and I thought, I don't believe it. I didn't believe they were missing. I believed that she was going to punish Chris. She was just going to punish him, take the girls, and just punish him. I had no idea of anything else. Christopher called and said, Mom, they're searching the house. I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, and I still was not worried. I was not worried. I just thought Shanann had run off with girls.
So walk me through the sequence of events over the next few days. Did you and your husband travel to Colorado?
Ronnie did.
Can we pause a second?
Okay.
Ronnie did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about this the other day. How did they actually find out that something was wrong? Did Chris phone Ronnie? Because she said that Ronnie phoned her. So did he phone his dad to say something was wrong?
I don't know what he told him. I'm pretty sure that Ronnie says in the in that interview video something along the lines that he knew they were missing, but I don't know why she said Ronnie called me and told me they were missing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
he's talking,
when?
Ronnie's talking to the cop, and he's like, or Coder or something, and he's like, when did you get in? Or when did you book your flight? And Ronnie said, yesterday. And he said, you booked it the night before or the day before? And he said, yeah, in the afternoon. So he was talking about when he booked his flight. And I don't remember if he said what Chris told him. Because then they asked him, what'd you guys talk about? From the airport to the police station. Nothing. Yeah. Just about the house being searched, I think, is what he said. I see a family that's very, I don't want to use the word afraid, but maybe they don't want to ask the tough questions.
I was about to say that. Don't ask questions. Just go with whatever's being told.
Yeah, because I would be like, what do you mean they're missing? What the fuck? When's the last time you fucking talked? I'd be like all over that. But they just went off what he said. And I think that's just part of this dynamic here. Not good communicators.
Nope.
Yes. Their avoidance. And I mean, literally Papa Ronnie came out there with that shirt on. So he had to have known they were missing. But I think they all kind of played it down to where, she just took off. She's fucking with him.
Yeah, you would think that though, wouldn't you? Like your first thing wouldn't be that something was wrong. You'd think that they've had an argument and she's gone, she's going to be back. Like it's all going to be fine. I don't think you would let yourself think about anything more than that in that moment until obviously time goes by and it's like, well, they haven't come back. But in those first moments, it would be like, nah, she'll be back. He'll be fine.
Yeah, especially if you knew, like, because he had just been there, told them that they were getting divorced. Also, they had talked to him and everything was fine. Since he got back, they were checking on him daily. Like Ronnie would text him, how's everything going? Because they were worried how things were going to go when they got back with a separation and a baby on the way. And then when Chris was there, he was on his phone a lot. And his mom asked, who are you texting? And I guess he did. Maybe he didn't answer or something. And he said, she said, it better not be another woman. Shanann will kill you. Yeah. And he said, I'm not going there with you. And that was where it ended. But so she had a feeling this isn't good. And if she finds out about this, oh boy, you are in some trouble, dude. So they're probably thinking she may have found out, or maybe Chris told her something about the affair, something, and she took off. You definitely would not think. Especially if there's, no sign of a fight. It's not like they went in there and the house was in disarray. Nothing was out of place but some sheets.
Yeah. So Ronnie went out there on the 15th, yeah?
Wednesday.
He got taken in. So when did they,
Tuesday was when he booked the flight.
Tuesday afternoon. So did they not even know on Monday anything was wrong?
I think they knew on Monday, yes. I think they knew on Monday, but then, they were probably thinking, they'll come back. And then Tuesday when they weren't back, Ronnie got a flight. And I don't even know if, I'd have to clarify that because I don't even know if maybe Chris was saying don't come. But Cindy wanted to go. And Chris said no. He did not want her to come.
Yeah.
Interesting. because she would have pressed for answers. From what I'm seeing now, Ronnie will sit there and talk and shoot shit about the Steelers and all this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy will ask the questions.
Want to know what is going on.
And he knew
Like,
it.
tell me everything. Mm-hmm.
He knew it. He said, no, Mom, you stay home. And at first I thought, oh, well, maybe he wanted to spare her, being there if something was found out. But I don't think that's it at all. I don't think he wanted to deal with her.
Nope.
He knew she was going to be difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But she was going to go out there. She wanted to.
I'd have been losing my mind if I was Cindy. Having to stay at home and not knowing what's going on. I'd have lost my mind.
Yeah. It makes me sick to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to face that and deal with all that either.
No.
And I mean, Christopher let everybody come in. Her phone is there, her purse is there, everything is there. But there's no kids and there's no Shanann. And I was not worried. I thought she has just gone off and I'm going to punish you for this and you can worry about me. But when Christopher called us and he said, I said, do you want us to come down now? He said, tell Dad I need him. Tell Dad I need him to come down.
Oh, there you go.
Ouch.
Tell Dad I need him. And he probably didn't have to say any more.
Yeah.
I bet you they didn't grill him. I would have said, why, Chris? Why do you need him? Because I would have said, do you need a fucking lawyer too? Because is that where we're at? Like, I would have been straight up.
Yeah. And they probably should have said, do you get a lawyer now?
Yeah. Yeah. But like the chat said, ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Midge says, but what is weird is Shanann's parents didn't go out. I would have been on the first plane if my daughter was missing. Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
Uh-huh. I 100% would have been.
But I guess, you wouldn't really need to if you had Atkinson on the phone all up in the shiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check the knives.
True. Yeah,
I
true.
still want to know why Shanann's mom wanted Nicole Atkinson to check the knives, not check the bedrooms, not look under the beds.
Straight to the knives.
Look in the bathrooms. Check the fucking knives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Oh, crikey.
Okay. So he said, tell Dad I need him.
I said, what about me? He said, no, Mom, just stay. Just send Dad.
Oh, boy. Because Christopher didn't want to answer Mama's questions of what in the Sam hell's going on. Because she probably would have gotten there and been like, okay, this girl's phone, this girl doesn't go anywhere without her phone. She would not have sat back. And I don't think that she would have been brushed off when they said, oh, we'll talk about that lawyer later.
Nope.
This whole thing could have gone so different if she was there. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yes. And must be really frustrating for her as well. Now.
Mandy S says that Check the Knives is redacted from Discovery, but it's in the body cam.
We've all heard it.
Check the knives. I'm going to make a sound bit.
Interesting that it's redacted though.
Yeah, why would they redact that? And I don't know, if that was me and I made that statement and I was Shanann's mom, I would think they would interview me and say, excuse me, ma'am, but we couldn't help but notice that when you were on the phone with Nicole Atkinson and your first remark when she opened the door to go inside was check the knives.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, why would you make that comment? Where did that come from?
Exactly.
Daddy's gonna be a man someday.
Okay, it's time for our intermission. I have to wish an awesome belated birthday to our girl, Heather Bratt. Potato wishes you a very happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday to you.
We wish you a very loud and beefy birthday, Heather. We love you.
Happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday.
Four-way, if you will.
I just sounded like Peppa Pig.
Happy birthday. I think you sounded more British than me then.
Ooh,
Ooh, that will scare somebody.
that will scare somebody.
Check
We hope you had a very beefy birthday.
beefy birthday.
Sweet dreams, my sexy empanada.
Oh, boy. Well, happy birthday, Heather. Yeehaw, Cheeky says.
And thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much.
Bundy's a rumpkin. Bundy's a poop butt. Bundy's his mama's boy.
I see poop butts in the house. Poop yes, Roberta.
Yes.
Stupid. We miss you, Skulls.
And he picked him up at the airport, and they drove to the police station. And Chris still didn't say anything to him.
Oh my God, he still
Nothing.
didn't. He didn't say anything.
Oh, did he ask though?
Oh my God, how awkward. Like, what are you doing in the car? Because to Weld County from Denver Airport, dude, it's a good hour. Probably hour. Yeah, about an hour. That's a long time.
Oh, it'd be interesting to know how that
The
conversation actually went. Like, what did you talk about then? Like, was Ronnie asking the questions and he was just not saying anything, or did they talk
Or
about
was
something
it
else?
just silence?
Silence or avoiding?
No case is perfect.
Wow.
Thrown out Twitters.
He had already been
Tweeted.
interrogated 7 hours prior to that. He had already let the police go into his home, search everything. He was going in for another interrogation. The next thing, after 5 hours, I
can't believe that after 7 hours, he was willingly going back the next day and there was still no talk of a lawyer.
Yeah. How? Why?
How? 7 hours? The last thing I'd want to do is go back.
Go back
I'd be like,
in there.
dude, yeah, man, I need a lawyer because I can't do this another day.
Yeah, especially
Then
when
you'd
they
worry
ask
you
for a
look guilty.
polygraph. But then they asked for a polygraph as well. Like, I'd be
And
like,
then sat there for hours. They had him come in at like, what, 9?
Yeah.
And then they had him sit there. Oh, you're going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for this, this thing. And then they get there and then they talk and talk and talk and talk for hours until they finally do give him the polygraph.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
You ain't bright-eyed and bushy-tailed no more after that.
Mm-mm.
You're on edge.
I can't believe he even did it, though, to be honest.
I can't either.
Like, he would have known he was going to fail it. Because even though those questions, like, he did know what happened. He
So I
didn't
wonder
know where
what
they
was going
were.
through his mind. Like, did he
Like,
really
did he
think
think
that he could
beat it?
Right.
I do not know.
He does not know.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He does not know.
All right.
called Ronnie and said that your son wants to talk to you before he tells us anything. And that.
Okay, so it was 5 hours the next day. They did the poly, and then they said, oh, guess what, Chris? You failed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, can I talk to my dad? So they did 7 hours, then another 5 before they actually gave him the poly. I know. How about them Broncos? That's probably what the convo was like, honestly.
Yeah, it probably was. I can imagine.
I mean, you saw the prison tapes.
Yeah.
I felt wrong listening to those. Like, it's, I know it's all out there and everybody's heard them, but it's just, it feels so intrusive.
Yeah.
In a way,
It is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Christopher broke down and cried and said, "I'm sorry, Dad." He said, "I went into a rage and I killed her after she killed Cece and Bella." And he found out where he is, and then they wouldn't let him see him. He couldn't see him. And so he was going back to the airport when his public defender called him and told him to come back. So, and that's when
Ronnie got the whole runaround. So he was trying to find Chris because he asked, like, when can I see him? And he couldn't find out where he was. And then, so he was going to the airport to go home because he didn't know what else to do. And then the public defender's office said, come back. Crazy. Like, they did not communicate with this man at all.
Ronnie met his public defender. And so talked to her for a while. And they kept in touch with us and let us know what's going on.
And then what was the next update that you got? Was it?
The next update I got was Ronnie called Jamie and told them they found their bodies. And they rushed over here. Nobody told me anything until they walked through the door. And they told me what happened, and I just fell to the floor. I just fell to the floor. It was unbelievable. And it's been unbelievable ever since. And
I can't even imagine. Mm-mm. So Ronnie called Jamie. They didn't tell her a thing because he knew. He knew she was going to break down. I mean, how do you handle this?
Yeah.
So you have to put it on your daughter and her husband to go over and break the news that they're dead.
Terrible.
Terrible.
What did his attorneys tell you about contact with him, starting with his
None.
arrest?
No contact. Everything is recorded. No contact. No letter writing. I didn't see the harm in the letters. Hi, son. Love you. Keep fighting. We are here to support you. What is wrong with that? What can...
Everybody else's family gets to write them letters.
Mm-hmm. And why does it matter if everything's recorded as well?
Well, they were telling
no
them
contact,
the
everything's
DA.
recorded.
Yeah, the DA is going to get everything, and she's like,
she
"What's
just
wrong
wants
with
to
writing
speak
a
to her
letter?"
son. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Let them have some contact at least.
Do you think it's because they knew how adaptable Chris is, and that he might say something on a recorded line that they didn't want to be recorded?
Possible. I guess it's possible. Who knows, though? I mean, there's got to be a reason why they didn't want them to speak. Like, it shouldn't matter if it's recorded, because she just wanted to speak to her son, which is normal. Like, that's a normal reaction. She would want to speak to him.
Welcome, Gocha. Thank you for becoming a member.
Roberta.
Thank you for welcoming Gocha, you guys. Because I don't see everything on this chat, so thank you. Yeah, but I mean, I just don't see the reason. Yeah, I mean, the DA is gonna hear it. The DA is gonna see it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So what? What are you scared of?
Oh my God, Carrie.
The DA do about letters like this? Why couldn't we just write him a letter? We did what we were told to do. When they called us to tell us that Chris was thinking of a plea, that he wanted to speak to us about it. And when we got down there, it was a lie. They wouldn't let us talk to him about anything. And then we had to talk to him through a screen and a phone. And he just looked, he was crying. I mean, he wasn't crying. You could see the movement in his mouth that when I talked about Bella and I talked about Cece and the memorial service that we had for them, And he asked what pictures did we use, and what was the song.
That was the only time. Wait, hold on.
How he was trying to hold back tears.
That was the only time I heard emotion in Chris's voice.
Mm-hmm.
His voice was like shaky. But then in the Wisconsin thing, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's so bizarre.
What day was that? Do you remember?
Well, we flew in on that Monday. We flew in on Monday, and we saw him Monday night, and then the plea deal was on Tuesday.
So Monday night was when you wanted to talk to him about
it? Yes, and we weren't allowed. And it would have helped us so much to be able to talk to him. I wouldn't have to go through all this now. Everything just seems to be shrouded in secrecy. And just tell us what is going on. Let us ask Chris if it's okay if you talk to us. I just don't like the way it was handled from the very beginning. I don't like the way it was handled. I want to save your life. That's all. We're just here. We're going to save his life. We want him to get life in prison. It was like they already knew he was guilty, and this was the end of it.
Were you worried about the death penalty being a possibility?
No, I didn't care about the death penalty. Nobody's going to die in Colorado. I don't think anyone has. One person? And Colorado is changing. So people stay on death row forever. There was I think you'd be safer on death row. And her parents said they didn't want any more death. So I don't see how the death penalty could have mattered. All I want is the truth. I just want the truth. That's it. And
so she has a point.
Yes, she does.
They made a point that the Ruseks, that Sandy did not want the death penalty. That they're Catholic and it goes against their beliefs. So we're trying to save his life. I mean, I know the victims, they don't, just go off of what they want. But for the most part, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They were feeding the Watts a bunch of bullshit. And I think, Midge, you have a good point, but I think where they were careful is they gave them, they didn't say like, you can't, but they made them feel like they were going to hurt his case if they did. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a manipulation tactic because they knew that they wouldn't want to hurt anything that had to do with their son, They wouldn't want to infringe on that. So they used that as like a scare tactic.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows what they were saying to him.
They couldn't say anything. They're never going to know what each other's saying because they weren't allowed to speak.
Right. And even now, I mean, it's recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl Mama has a very loaded question that I certainly cannot speak for them. But I can say that I think there is, in the back of their minds, involvement of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we think. Like literally, they know as much as we do. We may, like I said to Cindy one time, we may even know more. Because we've, dived into this case, we're not involved. We're not personally affected. So I'm sure we know more of what's out there.
Yeah.
Than they even do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff to go through. And you're not going to want to go through all that stuff. As a family.
No, absolutely not. No. You're not going to even have the capacity to do it. I mean, imagine like being his family and then all this happens and then boom, you see these hundreds of Facebook videos.
Yeah.
That you never knew were there. And these girls are dead. And you're getting this world of videos That had to be overwhelming.
Definitely.
Not just, and then you've got on top of it your son who, Ronnie sat there and heard him say, she did this and I did that. But then they get back home and it's like in the news that he said he did it all. I just can't even imagine the fuckery, excuse my French. I'm going to be like Heather J. Sorry, I swear so much. But, the fuckery that was going on in their minds, but besides all the shock and just everything. You've got, you're thinking of money. You're thinking, oh my God, you're thinking these girls. You're thinking of the babies. You're thinking of Shanann. You're thinking of her family. You're thinking of all these things. And then your son's in jail and you can't even talk to him.
Yep.
Because you're going to fuck something up if you do. It's just messed up.
Convince him not to go for a plea deal, I think, was probably what their worry was. Don't want Cindy to say anything that might make him think, oh, maybe I shouldn't go for a plea deal.
Right. Because at this point, you can't change the fact that the girls and Shanann are dead. You can't change that. But they still had a son who was in jail. And for what they knew, said X happened because Y happened, right?
Yep.
But then the media reports a whole different story. And then so do the public defenders. And then you're left going, wait, what just happened?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He does not know.
And what's really wild to me is that Chris's lawyers didn't even get a piece of discovery for 2 months.
How can you have a defense if you don't have discovery?
Yeah. How could what was Chris even going to talk to them about other than what happened?
Yep.
He had no defense. He had no one coming to him with a plan. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to go for. There was no defense plan. There was, hey, we want to save your life.
Yep, just a deal. Save your life, but he wouldn't have been put to death anyway.
There's not even death penalty anymore now.
Nope.
Yep. And Heather says that's why they held the letters until after he took that plea. She overnighted a letter out of pure desperation. Like, I'm going to overnight it so he gets it. But I think that he may have I really kind of in the back of my mind think he may have gotten that letter and that he told a story and said he didn't because he didn't want to explain himself. Yes, he was in solitary that whole time. 3 months, I believe it was.
It's a long time.
3 months. Oh my God. Just shoot me now. Think about that Ethan Crumbly, you guys.
Yeah.
Think about that 15-year-old kid who just shot up his school and he's been thrown in solitary in an adult jail since November or beginning of December 21. He's been in solitary, 15 years old.
You make you go crazy.
Oh my God. If he
You
wasn't
went
nuts
crazy
before
already. Yeah. Yeah. It's not good.
Oh, hi, CEO. Why is CEO such an attention whore? I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's and the solitary thing will mess with your mind, especially if you're saying, if they're telling you, you talk to your family, dude, this, you can't. You've got to listen to us. You've got to trust us, Who are you going to listen to?
And then what choice do you have?
Yeah. I can't imagine being locked up. I wouldn't know who to trust. You'd want to be able to trust someone. Think back on Casey Anthony. She was lucky as hell. When some other prisoner said, hey, here, I know an attorney may help you. She was so lucky.
Yeah.
Now, if that had happened to Chris, I don't think any of this shenanigans would have went down. Hey, Rex. I'm feeling okay, yeah. I'm feeling a little bit better. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's get back to Cindy.
I know Chris, he would take responsibility, and I guess maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't see him doing that.
What do you think the truth is about how Shanann and Bella and Celeste died?
Oh, God, I don't know anymore, honestly. I don't know his frame of mind, and I don't know his frame of mind. Because why would you plead guilty to something you didn't do? And that's all I want to know.
See? Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. I mean, how would you?
I don't know his frame of mind. But why are you pleading guilty? You know, and you got to remember, she's also got in the back of her mind that her husband just sat in that interrogation room and heard what the confession was.
Yep.
So I'd be super confused. I'd be like, wait a minute. But I'd be saying to him, I don't give a damn who's listening. Because that shit was recorded in that interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know why your story's changing from what you said in there.
Yep.
Did you tell them something different? You know? I just can't imagine hearing that, being his dad and hearing that firsthand, and then hearing something totally opposite being reported.
Like within hours. And that went everywhere. That went around the world. Like, it wasn't just a local thing. It went everywhere. It was in our news the next morning.
Oh, my goodness. Was it really?
Yeah.
It was across the pond overnight.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the Daily Mail. I
happened
remember seeing it. I can remember seeing that they were missing. And then it was like the next day that it said that he'd admitted to doing it. Because they update their articles, don't they? So it had updated to say he'd admitted to killing his whole family. It was literally within like 5 hours of the confession.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Across the pond. So, I mean, that was solidified. What's too much, CEO? This is just too much.
What does CEO need?
I don't know. Needy.
What do you want?
I'll be gone to November. Okay.
Isn't that a song?
Why would you plead guilty if you didn't do it? If you told your dad you didn't do it? And that's what I want to know. And they said, well, you'll find all that out. Christopher will talk to you when and after he's sentenced. Well, isn't that too late then?
Exactly.
Isn't it too late? What if he tells me, no, I didn't do it? I just took his plea deal.
What did they?
They were allowed to speak to him after. So they said that Chris will explain everything after sentencing. What good is that?
Just let us get through this, lady, and then you can talk to him all you want.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Just sit down, shut up, and let us do this, and then you can talk. What? Ugh.
Wow. Well, if anybody can maybe learn from this case, you know what I mean? Oh my God, CEO. What is that, a cricket?
What is that?
It's a cricket.
It looked like a leg to me.
I thought it was a lady, like
someone laying down with a leg up. That's exactly what
I thought it was too. Jeez, oh Pete.
Because they told me I was going to go to jail anyways. I just want the truth. All of us just want the truth. That's all. But I would like to know what triggered it. How can a normal young man, and he's normal. He was normal, but he wasn't evaluated when he came into the system. He wasn't normal if he did this.
It must be bewildering.
It's bewildering to me. It is. It is absolutely. How does this happen? How did this happen? And I go back in my mind thinking, was there something I didn't pick up with on Chris? But I can't think of anything except he was quiet.
It sounds like in your own mind, you're unsure as to what happened.
Yes.
I mean, she really sounds like she's kind of being a realist, even though it is fresh and raw. You know, she's unsure. She's not sitting here saying, I know he didn't do this.
Yeah.
I know he didn't. But being honest about, you know, the relationship and how she felt about it doesn't mean Shanann deserved to be murdered.
No.
Or that she wanted Shanann murdered or anything like that. So I think that now that time has passed and we're not so emotional and emotionally invested,
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like our time, we were emotionally invested time-wise as well.
Yep.
That we can, you know, look at this from a different point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't get on, and that's just how it was.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that she's
Mhm.
not sad that she's gone.
Right. Different dynamics, different situation. You know, to compare the Watts and the Rusek families is really kind of unfair because they're in two totally different positions.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Have you reconciled the idea that he could have done all of this?
Yes. And that scares me to death. It scares me to death to think that he could have done all of this. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there right now. But I don't see why he's pleading guilty. I wouldn't. I'd fight. I'd fight to the end. But then you ask yourself, would a normal person dispose of the bodies the way you did? And I would have called 911 if it happened like that.
What would you say to Chris right now if he were sitting here?
If we were by ourselves,
Yeah.
I would say, Christopher, I need to know what happened that night. I need to know what happened. I've got to get these thoughts out of my head, what I think could have happened, but I need to know. And I think in time he will tell me.
Probably nothing you ever would have imagined you would have faced.
Never. Never. No, and not from the son that I raised and Ronnie raised and our children, you know, we just did everything for them. We worked for them. We wanted them to have a good life, good education, and we stressed education. And they were both doing well. I thought, you know, I knew marriages can be bad, but you can get out of them and go on. But I don't know what was going through anybody's mind that night. I mean, I feel too much. I mean, I definitely feel everything way too much and have a conscience that I just feel way too much.
What do you want to happen now? What would you hope would happen now?
What do you think she meant by that?
What, feeling everything way too much?
Yeah. I've never noticed she said that before.
I don't know, maybe because she's not the same as Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie's not very emotional either, is he? So she would have all different kind of questions that he maybe necessarily wouldn't
ask. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think she feels like the Lone Ranger sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think she's bewildered that it went down like it did because she said, I would have fought. What do you got to lose? Yeah, I would have fought to the end. I mean, she's bewildered.
Because there was no fight. That's probably what she means, that she would fight. And they're the kind of people that kind of wouldn't. Like, they're more passive, and she's not like that. It sounds like she was kind of trying to excuse herself as well. Like, I'm sorry that I have all these questions kind of thing, but I feel everything too much.
Yeah. It's really sad.
Because she does have questions. She's not just sat there saying, well, he didn't do anything. She wants to know. Like, she said that. Yes, she's come to the thought that he could have done it all, but she just wants to know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, she really has conceded that, you know, she's either unsure and that she has put it in her mind that he did it all, but it's way too painful to go there. You know, because like if you accept that, then you have to accept everything. I mean, as if the disposal of the girls wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine like having to fathom any of this.
And the longer it goes on as well, you're just going to have more and more questions. Like, it's like torture, not knowing
Yeah.
for
Yep.
this long.
She's been stuck in this place for 4 years.
Yeah. Can't even
The
imagine.
same place.
The
Ugh.
same questions, the same feelings.
And you know, sometimes I wonder if the truth is really what she needs, you know? Because sometimes the truth, you can't come back from the truth.
But then it's closure as well. Like, she needs some kind of closure to be able to move on from it too.
I know. But then if you have finality, like, okay, yes, he did all this, then as a mom, you have to accept that this little boy that you gave birth to, that you raised with your morals, your values, your marriage was his, you know, example. You have to first accept that. Then you have to accept the fact that, you know, not only he killed his wife, but his kids, and then dispose of him that way. That would be like so much to even sift through. I don't even know if I could do it. I don't even know if I could do it.
Yeah. It is horrific.
It really is when you think about it.
But then she's going through all that in her mind anyway, isn't she? All the time.
Yeah. Torture, like you said. Either way, it's torture.
Well, I want Chris to have his day in court. I mean, I need to know. I mean, I'd feel wonderful if I could talk to him and he could tell me what happened. And then we can all go on. But if he didn't do it, if he did not do this, then I need somebody to defend him. I need someone to defend him if he did not do this. Do they have the evidence? He's my son. I got to do everything I've got to do everything I can to help.
And who could blame her? I mean, there's so many unanswered questions.
Yep.
Okay, so Ultra Dark CEO, I think it's really interesting how you have the apostrophe in Shanann's name. Number one, I don't really see many people do that. But your comment, you think that the description Chris gave while alleging the manner by which Shanann smothered the kids was actually a confession. What was the confession then? What did the investigators go off of as a confession if that wasn't a confession? I'm kind of confused by that, but
Chris gave us. I can't see it now.
oh, sorry. Jay, you think the description Chris gave while alleging the manner by which Shanann smothered the kids was actually a confession? Jerry says she thinks she'd rather die than know for sure that her son did something like that. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
But yeah, I do think that was a confession. I don't know what else you'd call it. I'd call that more of a confession than I would call the Wisconsin visit. I don't consider the Wisconsin visit a confession. That's more like a story, right?
Yeah.
But I like your punctuation in Shanann's name. That's interesting.
To make sure that he is defended properly. But he said this is his decision, so I don't know. There's doubt. I have doubt that he did it. I can't see that he did it. I just cannot see him doing that as much as he loved his girls. How do you do that? I just don't see it. I just can't see him doing it. I just wanted to make sure that he has, I just wanted a defense. I wanted him to be defended.
And you haven't had any discussions with his attorneys about this?
No. I asked them, do you know what happened? They said, no. We don't. Only person that knows what happened is Chris. Well, then he's told you his story, you know, in the affidavit. They said they would defend him if he wanted to go forward.
Well, there you go. There's the confession. It's in the affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the official story, but it was reported a whole different way. Like they just disregarded that. They disregarded that detail. Oh, he just said that it's covered up. Like he really did it. But it doesn't work that way. Like you can't take someone's words and say, oh, well, they said that, but that's not what, that's not what happened. You have to have evidence to back that up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're going to say, he did it all, then everything that we saw in that discovery should back that up. And it just doesn't.
Nope. Doesn't. Nope. Because they don't know what happened. They don't know what order anything happened in. They don't know those details. So how... You think that they would need to have the evidence to be able to even go ahead with a plea deal for all of them.
Yeah, like a judge should be like checking.
Yeah, they have a confession for Shanann, but there was no confession for the girls.
Yeah, the confession doesn't match the plea.
Mm-mm.
So, and Rourke even said it. No, he never changed his story because that reporter asked, has he said anything else since that day? No, he said it today in his plea.
Yeah, when he's agreeing to the plea.
He said it today in his plea.
Directly off.
Forward, but he said he didn't want to go forward.
And the bottom line is you would have liked to have been part of that discussion with him before he made that decision.
That's what I thought we were going down there for. At least let us talk to him. Let us talk to him. It would have made all the difference in the world if they would have just let us talk to him. If he was going to do this, what difference does it make who's listening? But he has our love. He has our unconditional love. I will never abandon my son. He did a horrible, horrible, if that comes to pass that he did this, then I still love him. He's my son. And I will always love him.
You know, I've got to give her props. That's definitely a parent's love right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Unconditional.
Yeah. You can't just stop loving your child, even when they do the most horrific things. It's like that Paris, can't remember what his last name is, but he murdered his sister, and his mum still loved him, like went and visited him and stuff, because it just doesn't end because of something that's happened. So of course,
but a lot of people can turn their backs. You know what? A lot of people can turn their backs and not talk to him anymore. A lot of moms can do that. Isn't it crazy?
Well, yeah, I mean, every situation's different, isn't it? But I think, I don't know.
I mean, do you think that her feelings are the norm? Because I kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your son.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you're okay with it. It doesn't mean you're cheering him on from the sidelines for doing this.
No, of course not. But she still
What a horrible position to be in. What a horrible position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand that, and I don't understand that, why they don't.
Well, could you talk a little bit about some things we talked about yesterday? You said, I think your exact words were, he's not the psychopath next door.
He isn't. He's not the sociopath next door. He's not the psychopath. He didn't kill little small animals. He didn't do any of these things. He was a good child. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that was abnormal about him, except he was socially awkward. You know, he had trouble socializing, but so did I when I was younger. I think you learn that as you grow. And
so maybe there was something going on that wasn't necessarily picked up in school with him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it happens.
And since she was shy, she thought, oh, he's just shy.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it does.
I mean, just the way that she readily admits, he had trouble socializing. So now I understand why Shanann had him take communications class when she was signing up for Pell Grant. I would have picked communication too, maybe, thinking it may help.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's right as well. Like that's stuff that you learn as you grow up too. Like you can be a quiet kid and then learn how to socialize and things.
Well,
So
yeah.
for
With
her, it would just be
maturity.
kind of normal to her if she was the same way.
Yeah. And I mean, when he's an adult, he's out there working. He's doing good at work. He does good at school. He gets on with everybody okay. He doesn't get in fights.
Yeah, he's getting by.
He's not drinking. He's not doing drugs. He gets married. He has a wife, kids. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, no red flags, right?
I think he felt a little bit more comfortable in his skin, and he just I don't think he just had the right person at his side. I don't. That relationship was toxic from the very beginning.
What would you say to Shanann's family if you could talk to them?
God, I'm so sorry this happened. For both our families, because we both lost everything. They lost a daughter, we lost our son, we lost our grandchildren. We all lost. Everybody did. And you'll never get it back. And they were precious. They were so, so precious.
So precious. They really were.
Sad.
It is sad. But isn't it different looking at this now than it was 4 years ago?
Definitely, 100%. I haven't watched this since like way back in the beginning. And I'm seeing it completely differently now.
Yeah. I got a lot more empathy, than I did then. But I don't know, man. There's another interview, and we can do this another night because I'm just still feeling icky. But there's another interview with Ronnie and Cindy that I'd like to go over and talk about. But before Mike Sanner, before we do that, I want to show you something, a little bonus, something that from a past episode that I wanted to talk about with Troy McCoy.
Oh.
So let's bounce back to Troy. Now, these are the text messages in Troy's phone, right?
Yeah.
Between him and Chris. So we have Chris at the top, and I think it says February 3rd. Shanann has a promoter coming over for some training tonight. Sorry, brother. Hope you win the pot tonight. Okay, cool. Man, I understand. I hope I do too. Should be a good pot tonight. So then Chris sends him this
meme.
This meme. And then the guy says, Troy says, LOL. Okay, so I cannot. Okay, so then on the 14th, this is Valentine's Day. There's a picture of a truck. And then Chris says, nice. So Chris is in red. Troy is in blue. Thank you, Leo Tech. Glad you're enjoying them. And then he says, thanks. And then Chris sends him whatever this Rastra thing is, like a key remote start system. Like, what is that all about?
No idea.
One-way remote start system. Like, is that to ignite something? Like,
Ford.
Why is he sending that? It's like a remote starter for a car.
Mm-hmm. Maybe for his truck.
He's sending it to, oh yeah, maybe. He sent him a picture of the truck. Mm-hmm. And then Chris weirdly sends this meme. Ha ha ha. I enjoyed that.
Enjoyed what?
I don't know. So we go from the 14th, thanks man, to the 17th. Just a random meme. And then here he says the pops I got from that guy. And you look that up. Those are pop figures.
They're like, little figures with big heads. You can get
So
them for
he's
like everything,
randomly,
movies
yeah.
and stuff.
I have a Prince one. My son got me a Prince one. But yeah, so he says, hell yeah, man. I know it may seem lame to some people, but I am a nerd, LOL. And then here's Chris. LMAO, everyone has their thing. Never knew about TV input lag until today. Cool. TV input lag? Why is he learning about that? What does that even mean?
I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. Let me Google it. TV input lag. Input lag is the time it takes a TV to display an image on the screen when it first receives the signals. Oh, maybe if you're gaming, people care about that because it'll lag. But why is he worried about?
I guess Troy was talking to him about it. Says he has a bunch of random knowledge. Or something to do with the Fire Stick. That's what Mandy has said.
LOL. I have a bunch of random knowledge. I don't know. But hey, it's useful knowledge. I guess you could say that. How's the Mars 28C running? 22 arrivals yesterday and 2 this morning. Pressures look good. Chris sends this meme. Are you freaking ass kidding me? What? And then the guy says, LOL. That was on 3/10. So March 10th. Then on March the 12th, you have Chris randomly sending him his email, chrisleewatts@gmail.com. On 5/9, a picture of Alexis like Shenan's, but it's black. And then right below that, yikes, Ashley, on June 15th at 9 a.m., Troy McCoy sends Chris Watts sends Troy McCoy this explosion out on an oil field there in Colorado.
Yep.
What do you make of this?
Crazy. And also June 15th is when Shanann put that video on of their pregnancy announcement. So it's kind of weird.
Oh my God. That was the oops, we did it again day?
Yeah.
Okay, so this picture he sent to Troy at 9 a.m.
So before the video then?
Before. Yes. Then he says, wow, at 9:34. And then we skip forward to the 18th. And Troy says, she's doing good, man. Made it out of surgery just fine and is now at home. I'm going to try and just take tomorrow off. I hope to be back at work on Wednesday. Like, where'd the question go? Like, did Chris text him and say like, huh?
What app is this? Like communication app thing? Because I don't have
I think they had Verizon.
Blue and red.
It's Verizon, I think.
Oh, so it's normal messages.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, not iMessage. It's like the Verizon like SMS app or something.
Oh, okay.
So this is his personal cell too. So he's texting him on his personal. And there's no question like Chris going, hey, how's Juanita? You know?
Can you delete messages and stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, this is exactly what NK did. When she, you can go through and delete certain ones. You swipe.
But then it should The conversation should still be on his phone, though.
Chris's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would think, but we never saw Chris's records, remember?
Mm-mm. Just weird that it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. There's shit missing. But why did Chris send him this explosion? Pipeline fire,
Mm-hmm.
it says.
Because it looks around. His only reply is, wow. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you sending me that? Like, what is that?
And then a bunch of shit deleted.
Mm.
She's doing good, man. And he says,
Yeah.
awesome. So glad to hear that. Take as much time as you need, man. No turn-ons till Friday. Okay, thanks, buddy. No problem, man. And then Troy says, how do I find out what gear ratio is in my truck? And then Chris says, take a picture of the tag on the rear end. Should be connected to one of the bolts. And then he says, 10-4, you're off tomorrow, right? On the 29th. And Chris says, no, working tomorrow. And then Troy says 10-4. And that's at 7. That's on 7/29. And then you don't have anything until Thursday, which would be the second week of August, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what does it say? And I don't know who Robbie is. This is kind of weird. I'm on PTO tomorrow. Forgot to tell you. I will meet up with you for the fire stick sometimes tomorrow, if that's cool. Yes, sir. That is fine. And then there's nothing until Friday when Chris is on PTO. And he says, don't let Robbie steal your thunder, LOL.
What happened with Robbie?
I don't know. And then he says, what time you want to meet up for that fire stick? And he says, whenever, buddy. Is it 2:00 on Friday? Doesn't this dude work? Friday, 2:33. What area are you going to be close to when you leave? He says 44. And then Chris goes, I will start heading that way now. When you leave, call me so I know where at. Seems like a lot of trouble for something you could just bring to work on the next day, like Monday. Why the fuck? What was the big fucking deal on Friday to do this?
And Troy's not giving a lot away either. He's just like, whenever. Where are you going to be next?
Yeah, it's very brief.
Like, yeah. Tell me where you are and when I can come.
So then he gets there at 3:05 and he says, here, park next to the Orange 5.0. And then it's not, and then there's an hour and 15 minutes. And he says, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. And then about 30 minutes later, Troy says, no problem. And then he says, quick question, how do I find SOPs? I found it. And then Chris says, seriously, with a side eye. And then he says, I am sorry. Chris has been trying to get Pulse Secure to load up. Troy says, I got lucky, LOL. I'm going to forward you the link. Don't delete it, LOL. Okay, LOL. Sent. Got it. Thanks, man. No problem. I should probably just go to all the wells and set AF to 30 minutes since I have it open, right? That's what Brian would do, LOL. Oh my God, Chris likes his memes. And then this dude says classic. And then on Monday, which is August the 13th, he says, I hope everything is okay, man. If you need anything, let me know. Monday, 2:27. All Chris says is cops are here. What?
Mm-hmm.
Cops are here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. If it gets crazy, you need a place to go, you can come to my place. Thanks, man. I truly appreciate it. Truly. Then this dude hits him up again Monday night. Hey, man, any news? Not trying to bother you. I know you are going through a lot. I am praying for you, man. No news, man. Please search the entire house. So all he says to this guy is, cops are here. Police search the entire house. Mm-hmm. Sorry to hear that, man. I will keep praying for you guys that everybody is found and returned home safely. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks, man. There's another one from him. Hey, sorry to bother you, but just wanted to make sure you're hanging in there, man. I hope you will have answers soon. Just wanted to let you know we are thinking of you and praying for you and your family. Like I have said before, if there is ever anything I can do, just let me know.
I wonder if they spoke on the phone or anything.
Here's
He's not really
Chris.
asking what's happening.
This has turned into a nightmare. This has turned into a nightmare. I'm truly sorry, man. A nightmare and a circus, dude.
A circus.
I just want them to come running back through the door. I'm guessing everyone at work knows. A nightmare and a circus, dude. Like, this shit ain't going the way that it was supposed to go. Yes, they know it's all over Facebook. Some people have been asking what's going on, and I tell them I don't know anything other than what the police are saying. So he knows more than what.
What?
Really, Troy?
That's a really weird thing to say.
Because people.
Right. I hope they can find them soon for you, man. If you need to get out of the house for a bit, you are more than welcome at my place. I know, man. Thanks. No problem. Here's another one from Chris. This is the scariest thing I've ever experienced. Dude, what is going on in this conversation?
What day was that? Yesterday, 3:09.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I can't even imagine what you're going through, man. Do you have any family or friends there with you so you are not just going crazy? My friends Nick and Amanda are here. They've been here all day talking to news crews too. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were not alone during all of this. I wish there was something I could do to help. I don't know, man. I really don't. I will just keep praying that they find them soon. Please keep me in the loop if you can, man. This is the same guy that went back to Servy, snooping around where Shanann was found.
Yeah.
Keep me in the loop if you can. If you ever
That
need to
day,
talk
wasn't
to
it?
anyone, call me anytime. Thanks, man. Yeah, turned into a nightmare.
A nightmare and a circus. Like it's
It
not meant to be
turned
going
into
that
one.
way.
It didn't start out as one, but it damn sure turned into one. This is the
I don't
same
even
dude
know.
snooping around where Shanann's body was.
Yes. That day. It
Yes.
was a Tuesday. It was that day that he
Yes.
went back. Ooh, that will scare somebody. Yeah, it will.
Sorry. Yeah, very weird exchange. I agree.
It is just strange. The whole Troy thing is strange.
Why do I have an echo now?
I can't hear it.
Yes,
Romance.
Bumpin. He's the one that lost his wrench.
I went back to Servy to look for it.
Yeah, it's always in his back pocket. Oh my God, CEO, I cannot.
Oh my gosh.
Why though? Why though? What was that? You know, what was that one excuse that they said that I was like, what was? There was one really awkward. Hang on, let me open it up again and look. It was like, that was amazing or something. And you were like, what is he talking about?
I can't remember now.
I'm trying to find it. I thought he said something like out of the blue, like, that was amazing. But I think it's really strange that he's like, cops are here. And then he's like, they searched the whole house. You know, and then he's like, it's a nightmare and a circus. I'm guessing everyone at work knows. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Worrying about people at work.
well, and I mean, NK, what was he thinking was being said at work? He had no idea that they were looking at all those emails.
Yes. Very true. Troy McCoy, the ranch boy.
I just don't know what this Rastra thing is, this igniter. I don't
Must be something to do with the truck thing.
I know, but can it be used to ignite something? That's what I'm
I get, if you're thinking down those lines, then I guess. I don't know, though. What was it, though? It had pictures, didn't it? What was in the pictures?
Yeah, it's... Here, I'll show you. It's just a key. It's like a remote starter.
What's the one above it, though?
Oh, it's like the... Here. It's like the module that... Hang on. I think that installs in your... Like, to your engine. So, like, when it's cold... You guys have that there? Like...
Don't think so. I don't know.
Remote
Could do.
So, like, if it's cold out, you can, like, hit the button. You don't have to go outside and start your car.
I mean, some probably do, but I've never had that.
Well, I'm just wondering. I think that's what that is. But I don't know what a one-way starter is. But it looks to be something to do with that truck because he sent a picture of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But their exchange is bizarre. It's bizarre that Troy was out there snooping around where, you know, Chris left Shanann buried. And he talks about having the shovel. They were the last ones at Survey together. Mm-hmm. And he keeps hitting them up, though. Hey, any news, man? Any news? What's going on?
All day long.
Yeah, weird.
I don't want to bother you, but I'm going to ask again. It's like he's kind of, I don't know, nervous. But then he probably would be nervous because he was out there that morning.
Yeah, very weird.
Snooping around.
Well, let's wrap this one up. I wanted to actually get your guys' opinion while I've got you guys here. I didn't know if anybody had seen this, and I might have to do a live about it. But have you guys seen this picture of the missing girl, Kylie Rodney? Mm-hmm. This picture, it looks like she has an engagement ring of sorts on. And she's like looking at it. Doesn't that look like it's on?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it'd be on her ring finger, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the date is on this photo. There's no date. But I see a diamond sticking up.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So we'll bring that up. Cheeky says, do a live about it. I'm in Cali. We will. I'm going to gather some more stuff that I found in addition to that, and I will cover it for sure. I just don't know when. I need to go get something to drink. I'm like parched. You know, when you have a cold, like your mouth is always, like your throat's dry.
Dry. Yeah. Yeah.
Troy stated in the police interview it was small talk when they talked, eh? Yeah, I did see the new hoodie. I saw there's a lot of things I want to talk about with this, but
yeah.
Another live, you guys. So make sure you are subscribed if you want to go over this, and we will see you soon. And I'm going to go and get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Potato, you need to get some rest too, because it's late there.
It's earlier than normal, though. It's only 2 a.m.
Oh, it's a good night.
Yeah.
You're like, Jay's sick. Normally, I'd be on here gabbing all night.
Till like 7 a.m.
Yeah, the words on the first hoodie. Yeah, it's very, very
strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ring thing kind of caught me. It's a very odd picture, like staged. I don't know. Something to that. Bizarre case, but
it is very strange.
Thank you guys, everybody who became members tonight. I'm sorry that I didn't see each one of you individually, but I want to thank you for your support. All of you guys that are continuous reverters, you are the best.
Could you say that again, Mr. Rottenborn?
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear that.
What?
I couldn't
Could you
hear
say
it.
that again, Mr. Rottenborn?
Mr. Rattenborn? Yeah, you guys are awesome. I'll say it again. Thank you so much, Mike. Good night, Carrie.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord.
Okay, Potato, good night. Get some, get some sleep.
Somebody.
Sweet
Good
dreams.
night.
The empanada.
Oh, jeez.
Good night, my sexy empanadas.
And on that note,
Yeah, on that note.
sweet dreams, everyone.
Sweet dreams, J for Justice Chats. Good night, guys. Dance it out.
Good night.
Thanks, Potato.
Thank you.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, 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 damn. You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much and now you